Hello, 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 everybody.
Hey,
Hey.
Hello.
hey,
I'm Pastor Stephanie Page, and
I'm Joe Nathan Lee Page.
welcome to the Pages Speak. Listen, as you tune in, we're going to ask you all to share. Take a moment, share. Take another moment, share. Take a moment, share.
Come on.
And share.
All the introverts say, oh.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought I would try it,
Anyway, but as you come on again, share. And we're going to start this conversation about introverts in ministry.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times we think about ministers, we think about, any of the fivefold gifts, and we never really think about what kind of internal or what kind of struggles they have to go through in order to go forth to do what it is that God has called for them to do. Most people do not know this, but I'm an introvert.
What? Are you kidding me? I've been with you all this time and never knew it.
Anyway, those who know me very well know that I am. And that I do what I need to do, and I do what I love to do for the kingdom of God, but I have to push. I have to press. Right. I have to set my mind to do it. And then after I do it, especially if it's a crowd or I'm dealing with a lot of people, I have to take some time to get myself together. Get it together. So today we are talking to some wonderful young ladies, some powerful women in the kingdom of God. You hear me? They're powerful. Powerful.
Come on.
That's right. So we have minister. I'm gonna say minister today so that she won't freak out. Minister.
Yeah. Go easy.
I'm going easy. Minister Jessica Robbins.
Hey, y'all.
Musician extraordinaire. She's just extraordinary in just so many areas. We can't even name them all. She's a wonderful woman of God, and I love her so much. But she is an introvert.
Oh,
and we also have the beautiful, incomparable Brittany Davis.
Come on now.
Hey, everybody.
Poet extraordinaire, Gratitude Jar movement founder. I need her to talk about that. Just all kinds of areas. Wonderful mother, wife, prayer warrior, all those things. And she is an introvert. So how does this work? How do introverts really operate in ministry? And is it really, really difficult? So I just have a few questions to ask. Have your introverted tendencies ever made it difficult for you to do what you need to do for the kingdom of God?
All right, I'll go first. Yeah, it has, because I need to be away from people so I can recharge.
Mm-hmm.
But just going to church is a bunch of people in one spot. And I remember the first time I kind of realized how much it was taking a toll on me. I went to someone's outside service, and it was like in this big parking lot, and I was able to sit in my car away from everybody and just enjoy church. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is how things should be all the time. And I had to go back to reality, just around people. So just even if I'm off to the side on my keyboard, not talking to nobody, it's still a pull on my energy. Like, oh, okay, I need to go away. So yeah.
How does that work when you even around all them kids you be teaching? Man,
it's tough. A lot of times I'll have a break in the middle of the day, and so even when kids come to me on my lunch hour, they be coming trying to talk and shoot the breeze and everything. As a director, I want to keep the room open for people to come in and talk and chat, because I know we need that fellowship even as a band. But I'd be like, okay, y'all, Miss Robbins is an introvert. Y'all need to go talk amongst yourself. Leave me alone for the next 20, 30 minutes. Don't talk to me. I'm not mad. I just need some time away.
Yeah, because you leave the door open for a reason, so you can come in and out fluently.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
What about you, Brittany?
I would say yes, it's definitely interfered. Just because, like Jessica said, I need to recharge. My 9 to 5, I'm working with 60 people at minimum a day. And so to have people pulling on me outside of that, it's definitely a strain. I definitely need to take moments to recharge and to steal away. But again, you can't stop people from texting you or calling you. So this is always that battle between me wanting my me time and me having to, talk to people or counsel people, whatever the need is.
Okay, so how do you overcome it? What do you do? What do you do when okay, I really want to just be quiet and to myself and over to the side, but I have to do ministry? What do you do?
So for me, if it's like honest, I'm just gonna be honest. I set boundaries. I might not respond to that text message right away if I don't get an inkling that it's a 911 emergency. I'm definitely going to take my time to breathe, prepare myself to respond, prepare myself for what the response from them might be, prepare myself for how long this conversation might go on. If it doesn't need to be a phone conversation, it will definitely be a text conversation or email or, something like that, because then I can kind of like control how much energy I'm putting out.
You know what? We need to give the people a little definition of introvert so they can get a good understanding and a grip on what this is all about. Man.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
Okay.
Pull
Well,
it up. You're an introvert.
Okay.
You should know
signs of being an introvert is you need some quiet time to yourself.
Okay.
With large crowds, especially after a long period of time, can be overwhelming. Okay. It's like it's just too much happening. A lot of times when you are by yourself, you're really good with everything that's going on in your head. Yeah. So then when other people put other things in, bring to that, it's just like, almost like an invasion of your space. So it's
so y'all do it internally, but it's not externally all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. And see, like for me, I love God. I love God with all I have within me. Yes. And I know there's certain things and works I have to do. And he gives me a lot of revelation when I'm by myself with him. We just talk and just have a good time all the time. So it's like, okay, I know I have to put myself in the mindset. A lot of times I take a breath and then it's just do it. Just let me just go ahead and do it. And I'm okay while I'm doing it, because you're in that space. But then it comes a time where it's like, okay, I'm done now. I'm ready to go now. No. I'm done now. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. And so when you can't, at least for me, sometimes I'll get in trouble because I'll be in the space, but I'm not mentally in the space because I've already shut down and I have this like wall up, but I'm still there, but I'm not fully there because I have to sort of draw back to myself. And as a pastor, it gets to be difficult because a lot of times people are pulling on your time and they want to talk to you and they want your attention. And, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, I can't. And then I just sort of like glaze over. My heart wants to, but it's too much.
Now, the thing about this is it's so amazing by y'all being introverts. Mm-hmm. Introverts are extremely talented. This is a trip because both of y'all over here, y'all do poetry, you play music, y'all play to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how to get them going and everything. Well, how do y'all even focus to even get that out and be able to be as creative as you are as an introvert?
So there's a mental preparation that has to go on before I even think about getting in front of anybody for any reason. So if I'm about to do poetry or play some music, don't talk to me right before I get on stage.
Mhm.
If you can, don't talk to me on the way to the venue. I need quiet. I'm on power reserve. I gotta charge up because I know that I'm about to use a whole lot of energy when I get where I'm going.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm somewhere and they put me on the spot to do something, it's a challenge because I gotta try and draw up this mental energy to go ahead and do it. And I mean, I can do it because I've been on stage all my life, but it's just a lot. It's just something you gotta learn how to manage.
Yes,
Exactly.
same here. I've been I was playing piano like on stage in high school. Like you said, I'm a poet, so I need that time to prepare. And honestly, I would prefer, like, I don't get, I guess, nervous until I get off of the stage. So I can perform at 100%, but when I come off the stage, it's like, then I'm like, I shut down. And like Pastor Stephanie was saying, I have to be careful because that's when people want to come up to me and talk to me. And I have to be very, very intentional on not closing myself out as soon as I walk off the stage.
Yes. And that's what you said. It's like intentional. You have to be intentional because your natural state is like, okay, I can draw back into myself now and I'm good, you know, but you don't always have the space to do that, you know? So question, have your introverted tendencies ever put you at odds with leadership?
Yes.
Tell it like it is.
Especially so just with that mandate of, okay, if you're in ministry, you should fellowship and love one another. Simple things, right? But especially if I was serving that day already around people, now it's after service and I'm expected to go and engage with people some more. Sometimes it's just not in me and I just can't do it. Like, I know y'all have noticed a lot of times after service, I'm just going to sit there for a little bit because I got to get my mind together. But sometimes in some spaces I've been in, that just was unacceptable. And you'd have to go and talk to people and make new friends and things like this.
Wow.
I just can't do it right now. But yeah, I would get in trouble.
Yes. Introverts, we like organic relationships. We don't like small talk or anything like that. And so I would find myself, if I was forced to talk to somebody, you know, after service or something, it was very difficult. One, I'm not being authentic. I'm not being organic. And the basis of a relationship that starts like that is just, I don't want to carry that on. And so I would definitely get in trouble because I'm not about to force myself to form a non-organic relationship. So, yeah.
And see, with me, there's some things I can talk about all day.
Yeah.
I can talk about the Bible all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, right up my alley. But small talk and others, I'm like, I can make myself do it, but it's like nails on the chalkboard. I'm like, we talk about the Bible, but then everybody don't want to talk about the Bible. You know, people don't talk about the Bible or like some of the revelations, you know, I may have gotten from God or some of the thoughts that are going on in my mind, whatever. And you know, and I can share those with people, and they're looking at me like, you know, what? You know? But it's like how my mind is working, or other conversations that I'm having with God, you know, on the regular basis. So that's my happy place. You know, even when I'm by myself in my room, you know, talking to God, it's so peaceful. I'm so happy. So when I come out, you know, I can carry that with me, but then everybody doesn't necessarily want that. If you start talking about people about the Bible, they're going to run away from you. And it's like,
but that's a place where you can feel comfortable.
It's where I'm comfortable.
And it's like, it's not draining for you to do that. So anything outside of that comfort zone, that's your comfort zone.
Yes.
So you setting the parameters right off the rip. This is what really excites me. But if you're not doing that, I'd rather than just cut you off. Because you do it to me all the time. So, I mean, hey, living with an introvert is the next show. Living with an introvert is the next show. How do you do it? Amen. Go ahead, y'all next. Go ahead. How do y'all like? How do you? I got a little bit what you call it, ebonically comfortable. How do you guys, in the midst of everybody, what really excites you as an introvert to have a conversation about that actually allows you to stay out longer instead of going inside internally?
It has to be a common interest. And I know that's challenging for people because as introverts, we're not just gonna like come out and say like, oh, these are my interests and this is what I like to do. And so like for me to stay engaged, it has to be a common interest. Like I said, it can't be small talk. It can't be yes or no questions because I'm just gonna say yes or no. Like I'm not gonna go into detail unless there's an interest. So that's just for me.
I would agree with that for me. And I will also say that if hanging out with you doesn't deplete me, then I can stay for however long.
For a little bit longer.
Yeah. So like sometimes I can hang out with people and every sentence it's like, can you just please be quiet? Like why are you
Wow.
But other people, like they can talk and whatever, because those who know me the longest know that I'm really talkative actually. And so it just kind of depends on the type of exchange that's happening. Am I adding value to you? Or are you adding value to me? If that's happening, we can keep talking. But if we just talking for the point of making noise, turn on some music, turn on the TV, everybody just be quiet. Let's just watch.
Right. Don't just, talk me out. Go ahead.
At what point did you realize you were an introvert? That's my god sister Varila. How you doing, beautiful?
For me, it was, I guess, since I could talk. I've never wanted to be around a lot of people. I come from a very big family, very big, and I was always satisfied with being either by myself or just with my grandmother or just with my father. There was never a time where I enjoyed being around like all 50 of my immediate family at the same time. So I would say as soon as I could remember, I've been an introvert.
Okay.
I see the king of introverts is on here, Rashad, saying sarcasm is his friend. Now he's the king of introverts. When he shuts down, he can be in the midst of you looking you right in your face and shut down. I'm just telling you how. Yeah, he's a king of it. He's good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I never really had language for it growing up. I didn't know what an introvert, extrovert, ambivert is. I just knew that sometimes, you know, that Kanye meme where one frame he's looking like having fun, and the next one he's just like, I'm ready to go. That was me. That was me. And so finally, I think I was in a class in seminary, and it was a spiritual formation class, and they were talking about different personality types. And they were like, well, if you're like this, then you're an introvert. And I said, oh, so I'm not just trying to be a jerk around people. Like I do genuinely love them. I just need time.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I think with me, I mean, even growing up, you know, like it would be family gatherings and everybody would be in the house and I'm outside. Everybody's in the house. I don't want to be there. To me, it's like everybody, you know, I can sort of cook a little bit, but everybody was in the kitchen. So I didn't want to be in the kitchen because everybody was there. And it's like, I like to play with my sister, but if my sister wasn't available, I was fine, you know, just playing by myself. And then it was the other, you know, and then I did not have a lot of friends. I had a lot of associates, but not a lot of people that got, you know, just really, really close to me and really, really get to know me because they weren't talking about things I wanted to talk about. It's like one of my best friends, Lynette Hines, y'all know her as Auntie Buffy. She's like one of my best friends, but it's because she, you know, came up to me, hi, very friendly, very loving. And, you know, and she never tried to force me to be anything other than what I was. And so that was cool. But I didn't really realize I was an introvert until I really started looking at the attributes of an introvert. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I am because you know, I just like, you know, okay, I'm just a little different. You know, I can be sociable, you know, but, you know, again, I have to choose to be sociable. And if I have my choice, you know, I would, and it's like every day from work, I would come home and I would do what I had to do for my kids. And then I wanted to be alone.
Can I get y'all a t-shirt I'm an introvert, not a jerk.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like
Here you
that.
go. The T-shirt, hashtag it. Let's go.
Okay. But yeah, that's good because a lot of people will think, oh, she's standoffish, she's mean, or like for me, sometimes I would try to fit in, but my conversation would be sort of awkward because I don't necessarily fit in, with everybody else's conversation. So, and then if I tried to force it, it would just be wrong. So it's like, yeah, I'm sort of good. And then I would get a couple of people who really, really got me. And it's like, okay, cool. These are my people. But yeah. So I guess I knew sort of young that I was, I was, but I didn't know what it was. Let me put it that way.
I want to say something. I was in another ministry a while ago, years ago, and there was a lady who came. They had invited her in to teach about the different personalities, and they were talking about introvert, extroverted, and that's when I understood some. It was good to know because it teaches you how to engage people and how to minister within and have an understanding.
Yes.
I had a pastor. He was an introvert. Don't call him by his crib without calling, because you might not get a answer, or he may be like, "Hey, you can come back another time." That's how I got to kind of like to learn about it, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to have that place or that space where you can be a part and get yourself together to be able to deal with whatever comes next. So it's something that we all need to learn about, to be able to learn how to engage one another and really understand, okay, this person is not doing so well. I know they're an introvert. Let me give them a little space and not talk right now. Let me go over here where the extroverted crowd is and hug and high five and hang with them real quick. Not that we.
Okay, now question. I'm gonna ask this question.
Go ahead.
Has anyone ever been offended by you because of your introverted tendencies?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm quite sure.
Go ahead, Brittany. I'm sorry.
I can't pinpoint anybody like specifically, but I'm sure they have been, just because somebody might have got me when I was depleted. And I might have been a little short, or I might not have responded in like a reasonable amount of time. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Here's another question. Would you even care? Boom.
But yes, we would care. This is okay. I know for a fact that people have been offended because, just like you said, you text me. I may not necessarily text right back, and I read it, but I'm gonna have to do it in my time. And there are times when they notify you. They know when you read it, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I know you saw my text." Yeah.
And here's the thing: I read it and I prayed. I just didn't respond.
Wow.
I'm really good for that. Like, I'll read it and I'll respond in my head. I'll pray appropriately, but I might not respond.
Yes, and people get offended by that. And it's like, I'm sorry. And then it's another thing. It's like with phone calls. It's like I'll see it, and I may text, "Are you okay?" Okay. Now, if you're not okay, and I'll go right into mode. But if you're okay, I'm not at that space right now. I can't. It's like, it's like, okay, I love you, and I do. I love hard. I really, really do. But it's like right now, I'm just not in that mode to talk. Text, you could text. And then Pastor Joe gets in me sometimes because I'll text people, "Hey, how you doing? Is everything going well? I was thinking about you. I love you." And I'll just text. I'm like, I love texting. It's like, okay, cool. That's easy. And he's like, "You need to just call people." I'm like, oh.
So I know from an introvert perspective, when I call people and they don't answer the phone, they introverted. If I text them and they don't text back, they're introverted.
Pastor Joe, I think now you text me first and be like, "Hey, can I call you?" And I have to take a minute. Like, can he call me? Is it okay?
They call me. Because I gotta gauge how I gotta play it, because I don't be wanting to call in, you be on the phone and I don't hear nobody talking. I be doing all the talking and then nobody talking back. I'll be like, oh, okay. It's
Okay. Tamara says, is that like a mood then? It's not really a mood. It's really like, it's like really a mental space where I have to come out of my safe space in order to address stuff. So it's almost like it's a mental space where I really dwell and where I spend most of my time either recharging or talking to God or thinking through things or, and things of that nature. So it's like, it's my happy place. It's my happy place. And like I said, I have no problems. I'll come out, but sometimes I need to recharge my tanks. And I think Regina says I'm both an introvert and an extrovert. I can be an extrovert. I can be extroverted. But for me, I make a decision and a choice. Okay. I know when I'm doing ministry and when I'm addressing people, I can definitely display extrovert tendencies. I can definitely do that, but I only can run at that speed or in that location for so long, and it's like, I just really just wanna. Can I go back? So I can be an extrovert, but for the most part, I'm really in.
So in other words, if they fellowship with you all day, don't call them after the fellowship. They done turned the phone off. Looking at your phone. You might as well give it up.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Why would you call me if I just saw you?
I just saw you a long time and spent all day fellowshipping. And you want to fellowship and talk about something after the fellowship.
And then it'll be bad because sometimes it's like, because, we like to fellowship, have dinners, whatever, to spend time with people, love other people, right? The church is a family. We like to be a family with people.
Yeah.
But then sometimes like my tank will run dry on me quicker than I expected and I'll disappear. You look up, I've gone up to my room. I'm tapped out,
Right.
Either that or I'm sitting there and I had this glazed over look and I'm just nodding, but it's because, I've tapped out my tanks. And it's like, and then I feel bad. And that's like, because I'll leave. You look up and I'll be gone in my own house.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what's needed.
Yeah, but people will sometimes get offended. Yeah.
Do you care?
Yes, I do. I don't want to ever offend anybody.
I know you do not.
I never do. I never want to offend anybody. I love everybody. I want anybody to be hurt by anything that I did.
Because I'm an extrovert and I want to know, do you care?
Let's see. How can you tell whether your children are introverted or extroverted? There are a lot of signs and things that will basically show, whether your child is introverted and extroverted. But whether you know that or not, it's just like I think with all kids, let them be them. If you find that they withdraw, after a crowd, or if they're like, okay, this is too much, or even if they're seeing like, it's like, this is a lot for me to do. Just be aware of your kids and what is taxing to them and what's not taxing to them, and just love them wherever they are. But maybe you guys can give some more. How can you tell if your child is an introvert or extrovert?
So for me, when I was a kid, my dad, I guess he was an ambivert because he could be extroverted. And so he would want to be around people all the time. And I would just be like, can we just go home? Like after school, I don't want to go over such and such house. I just want to go home. And so that's how I think that showed up in my childhood, as well as like I was a performer. And so I could do the performance, but after the performance, can I go home? I'm tapped out. I don't have energy. And so that's how it showed up when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say kind of just watch what they do. So like in the classroom, I try to, ask kids at the beginning of the school year what they are. And if they know, then they tell me. But if not, you just kind of watch them and see how they interact with different people. Some kids are just shy and they're not introverts. They just don't want to do anything in front of anybody. And other kids, they want to, they just don't have the strength every single day, every hour. And so just be observant and ask them.
Brother Daniel on here asked the question, what is the introvert's breaking point? That's a good question. What's the breaking point for you guys?
I don't know if I can say, oh, this is my breaking point. It's just when you feel it, you know it, and it's time to go.
Okay, how do they know it? When they see your face scrunch like that?
No, you don't necessarily scrunch. It'll more be like a glaze over.
Oh, a glaze over?
At least for me, it's a glaze over.
Or ignoring?
It's not so much ignoring. I do tune out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tune out. If you hear me asking what you said multiple times, I've tuned out already. I'm just being honest. If I have to ask you and I'm like, wait, what'd you say? I'm trying. I really am. And then for me, I'll just leave. I'll leave. If I know that I'm depleted, see you later. I'm about to go.
What you say?
Yeah, I don't think I have a real set breaking point either. Because, like, I guess I like how Pastor Stephanie is saying glazed over. I'll do that. You just talking, and I'll glaze, and I'm real good at saying, yeah, isn't that something?
Oh, that's wow. A good one right there.
But I'm not listening. I'm in my own little world, not paying no attention, just staying functional in the conversation until I can find an exit. And if I can get up and leave without saying bye to everybody, I will just walk right out the door, and I'll see y'all next time.
So introverts or extroverts, when you see them glazed over, the conversation is done.
Yeah,
it's a done deal.
Yeah, and it's just like what Brittany said. I'm like, I'm sorry. What did you say? Like, I'm so sorry.
You
what
know
did you say again?
It's so funny because now I understand why she be doing me like that. What you say? I say, look, I've been talking for 15 minutes. You didn't hear nothing I said. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I just didn't hear you. What? I done poured out my heart. I'm bleeding over here, everything. And she didn't hear a word I said.
But the thing is, yes, understand. I left and went to my room. Okay, so
you were in the
leave
room
and go to my room, I'm tapped out. And so when you come into the room and now you talking and talking, I'm like,
look, I be in the room right next to you.
But I went
talking to you.
Yes, but I went to the room
like this and say, "What you say? What kind of stuff is that?" I thought you was listening to me. Oh, I'm sorry. And then go back to what you was doing. Then I roll over and just put my headphones on. And say, you know what, introvert? You be introverted. I'm gonna exit first. Leave away. So I'm gonna go away. Oh yeah, I don't hang around where I'm not.
But I always say I'm sorry first. So do you find yourself doing that a lot? Saying I'm sorry, and yeah.
Well, so y'all are a little nicer than I am. I don't always apologize.
Right.
A lot of times I'll just be like, I stopped listening. Can you say that again? And then we'll move on.
Yeah, I don't necessarily apologize, but I think a part of that is I'm hardly ever around people that deplete me. So if I am in a circumstance like that, then yeah, I will apologize a lot. But then I don't even really, if I'm depleted, I'm really good now about saying that I can't make it. So
yeah. Now this is when it becomes difficult. It's like when you have kids. So you would have excused yourself. It's like 10:30 at night, and your kid comes in, and they're telling you about their day.
I'm not ready.
And it's like, I'm really trying to listen and to tune in, but I'm already depleted and I'm not in that space right now. And so it's like, so now I have to, okay, seriously, like, okay, I'm going to listen. And then if this, and then it's like, and then your mind just sort of, and it's like, oh man. And then I feel so bad. And it's like, and then you're like, you don't listen to me. It's like, no, but I do. And I'm really, really trying. I really want to. I do. But it's like 10:30 and I'm tapped out and I'm sorry.
I understand. Yeah, one lady, she said the song, her name is Tamara, right? She said, your mind is here with me. No, your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. So that song was about an introvert.
No,
man, I didn't figure that out. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you for saying that. Because I'm, your body right here, but your mind is somewhere else. Thank you for giving me that.
Oh my goodness.
That little tidbit to really chew on right there.
It's something else that you all said. A lot of times with introverts, they're really good about writing stuff. Writing stuff down. I have all kinds of notebooks. I write all the time. But I talk selectively, but I write all the time. And so that's something else that introverts, they do get their thoughts out. They do get their feelings out. It's just not in the way that maybe everyone else does. But like I said, the purpose of this show really was to, just help people to understand introverts. Because I know for me, I know there are times when people have been offended. And it's like, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like multitasking in your mind. I didn't mean to. It's just, my takes. But anyway, Amen. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I just know now this is a thing that's probably going to be difficult because both of you young ladies are so dynamic in the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of great things that I know God is doing. So what are you going to do and are you going to be prepared? Because there have been times when Pastor Joe and I have gone somewhere and then we ended up having to prophesy to like 30 or 40 people. And it's like, or more, and so when you have to do ministry and there will be crowds. And like I said, with the music ministry and what you have, and even what I know God is saying that he has for you to do, a lot of people are going to be there, Jessica. And the same thing with you, Brittany, you have the gratitude jar movement, poetry. You're such a dynamic woman of God, even with the prayer. And I just see it going to a whole nother level. And there are going to be times there are going to be a lot of people there, Miss Brittany. So
wow.
Are you all prepared for what God is going to do for the next level for you that involves a lot of people, even as you're an introvert?
Where I'm weak, he is strong. So,
come on. That's the scripture. Introvert is an asshole. When I am weak, he is strong. Come on.
Amen.
And that God gives me grace. He gives me grace in those moments. Believe me, if I'm in front of a crowd of people, I did not put myself there. And so I often, if I come off of, something like that where when I've prayed for 20 people or more, I'll look back and I don't know how that happened. And so it's really just all God. And so I rely on him in those moments because I know it's not me. So
yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, ladies, it has been so awesome talking to you guys.
Yes.
I want to mention really quickly, if you have not gotten my book, Gracefully Losing Your Religion, they're nodding their heads. It's a good book. Gracefully Losing My Religion, A Journey to Love Without Limits. Please get it. You can purchase it via Amazon, or you can get a hard copy, a signed hard copy from me by contacting me, and we'll give you the information on how to get it. Yes, the link is in the comment section. Awesome sauce. Next week.
Next week.
I think we're talking about Gracefully Losing My Religion next week.
What
are we talking about next week?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't forgot.
I know. Anyway, next week, Gracefully Losing My Religion is what we're talking about.
All right.
And we're also looking, if you've read the book And, you know, we really
Please
are looking
don't.
for you. I may be calling you guys this week. If you have read the book, read any portions of the book, we may just talk about some of your favorite portions of the book or some things that sort of stood out to you or some things that may have pricked you and made you look at yourself again to see, you know, okay, maybe I need to deal with that or maybe I need to look at that. So we're really looking forward to that. So next week on The Page to Speak, Gracefully Losing My Religion Part 2. Any parting words? What do you ladies have coming up that, you know, you may want to talk about? Anything? Gratitude jar. Hand.
Oh, yes. I am the owner of the Gratitude Jar Movement. You can find it on my website, BrittanySharice.com/shop. I also have a book called Fathered, A Journey into Discovering God as Father, which is also on my website.
Awesome. And Miss Jessica, aren't you doing some things with music on the West Side, Livonia? What's the music firm?
Yeah. Let's shout out the music firm. There we go. If you or your child is looking to learn an instrument or just get better at it, get some guidance, get some rehearsal space, buy some equipment, check out the music firm in Livonia. You can just Facebook the music firm, and yours truly is one of the saxophone instructors. So, you know, come through.
Yes. All right. This is awesome. We love you guys. This has been The Pages Speak.
Yes.
I'm Pastor Stephanie Page.
And I'm Joe Nathan Lee Page. Power to the people.
We love you guys. Until next week, 9 o'clock, Thursday.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.